Okay, so let's just jump right into this thing. First, I wanted to say congratulations. What an incredible experience. What an incredible professional career to end it with this Olympic Games and then go directly to the Super Bowl has to be the way everyone has to do it. Like, what was that experience like for you?
Yeah. Oh, man, it was picture perfect because I had made this list of things that I wanted to do when I retired, and that was right there on the list at the top because I'd never been to a Super Bowl before. And so, like,
Right.
straight off the plane into Los Angeles, and then boom, I'm at the Super Bowl. And it was a weird sort of like, because I have so many friends attending, so I'm like still seeing people for the first time after the Olympics, but we're all there cheering on the Rams, which was so great. And then they won, and incredible night, incredible past couple days. So.
I mean, an incredible past couple of days. Tell me what you thought about the halftime show. I'm curious to know where you were sitting, what you could see, because half of the dome, half of the stadium had this beautiful view, while half of the stadium ain't really get to see much.
Yeah, we were kind of like the back of the building a little bit, but then we got to see everybody kind of sneaking up of like, well, I guess they're going to pop out with this performance now. And so we saw a lot of that, but I think the highlight was when, 50 Cent did that like reverse crunch into the It's Your Birthday. That was
Come on.
That was a highlight. That was good. How long had he been up there? No one will know.
45 minutes, I'm guessing. 45
Yeah,
minutes.
just
But if you
waiting
look at
for
the size
Snoop.
of his chest and his arms, you could tell he got it. He could have gone another hour.
Yeah, he was ready. He was
Easy.
just holding that plank up there or something.
I mean, right? So talk to me
Yeah.
about what it was like, that plane ride, that kind of come down from the height of an incredible Olympic run, your kind of retirement run. What did that feel like, to wrap that up?
It was a wild experience because you're so nervous because you're still competing at the Olympics, but I had already said I was going to retire, so that took surprisingly some pressure off it in a way because I was like, well, if this is the last time, I'm really going to enjoy everything. And I was so thankful that I got to even make that choice. So many athletes, they get called into an office and they're like, well, it's over. And you're like, you sure? I feel like I got more. No, and like for me, I'm so blessed. Yeah, totally. So I felt really blessed to be able to make that choice, and then making that choice to actually living that moment was wild.
Yeah.
Sliding into the end finish area and just the warm welcome from my competitors who are, some of them like 13 years younger than me, telling me what I meant to them in the sport. And it was just like this beautiful send-off. And I will say that the next morning I woke up and I didn't know how I would feel, but I felt so light and so refreshed and like excited to step into this new role. And yeah, I remember being like, I guess I'll go, it's like 5 a.m. for some reason. I'm like wide awake. I was like, I guess I'll get a tea and kind of like watch the sun come up. I don't know.
Yeah. Grab a paper. Like you really leaned into retirement. You were like,
check out
should I...
some current events.
What are the kids up to?
Yeah. No, you guys go ahead. I'll catch up.
Right. No. I'll see when you guys come back. But it's so funny.
Totally.
You talk about that sliding in near the end. We saw moments after that. I think you with your family, a video call with your family, and the emotions were so high. And it for everyone even just watching, talk to me about what that moment meant, because I know that your story isn't one of these like, we were super wealthy, this is something that our family did, and then I kind of fell into the Olympics. There was a lot of struggle, there was a lot of sacrifice made by your family to get you there.
Yeah, and even from the beginning, I was born with a heart condition called tetralogy flow. I had multiple surgeries to correct what was going on, and just from that to finding sports somehow, and then making this name for myself in a sport that was very misunderstood in the beginning. I mean, barely anybody did it, and we weren't very welcome on many resorts, and to make a career out of it and a living, and to fast forward to being at the Olympics. So when I saw my family, it just all came flooding back, like those car rides up to the mountain, and my parents calling in sick for work, trying to make ends meet, and we used to tour around in this van that my parents bought. It wasn't really a van, but it wasn't a motorhome. It was like this weird in between, and and we would just drive around the country to snowboard competitions, and you know, like just seeing their faces and what they've all gone through and their support, I was so overwhelmed. I couldn't take it, you know. And then you see all these kids running around, which is so cool because, you know, my family's growing and my siblings are now having kids of their own, and it's just you know, family means so much to me. So it's really wild to just, you know, be in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the family growing, you talk about more time now, right, and retirement, and this new chapter for you. I'm curious, do you respond? Because I know that you're a person who responds to pressure in a way that you meet it. You don't run from it.
Yeah.
And you like head on. I'm curious, with your family growing and now more time, how are you responding to that kind of energy for your own family, for your own life?
Yeah, it's really making me take a hard look at things, which is so great because, you know, it's a wonderful excuse to be like, oh, well, you know, we'll deal with it after the Olympics. And then there's always another Olympics after that. So you're like, oh, yeah, we'll get to that, you know. And so finally it's like, okay, we got to like really, you know, not address things, but wow, I get the opportunity to like, you know, take some vacations, be around for birthdays, be around for major events and other people's lives as well. And, you know, and I have this amazing relationship going, and I've been, you know, having this incredible support from my girlfriend, Nina, who, you know, has been in my corner every step of the way, helping me, you know, with this transition in my life. And so that's been incredible to take more time in that aspect. And then, and she's the one that told me to make the list of what I want to do. So, you know, it's been great. I definitely am still fresh off of all of it. I think I'm going to probably call some of my fellow, you know, athletes and friends and be, you know, like a Michael Phelps or Tom Brady or these amazingly talented athletes and go like, give me a little tip. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Where are we at? You know, because
what are we doing?
That sort of like, I need that in my life, that competitiveness. And and I find it in certain ways for sure. You know, I started a brand called White Space with my brother. It's like outdoor, you know, lifestyle brand, as well as like hard goods boards and things. And that's really cool because obviously I have so much experience and expertise in the sport. Like I know what to put into the products. And even beyond that, there's the thought that like, you know, when I was a kid, I was gifted a snowboard in the early stage. I was probably like 6, 7 years old by Jake Burton from Burton Snowboards, and that sparked this whole thing for me. And you know, to be in the position to do that for the next generation, and not just to sign them, but to be a part of, you know, their career and that helping hand and my lessons learned. And so that seems like a really fun way to still kind of be in the sport, but not in the competitive side. But definitely going to go through that list of fun things to do in retirement. And I guess, so I'm getting winded with this, but I keep picturing my retirement kind of like how when Obama left office and you just saw him on like jet skis. And like, I was like, I want that. So that's where I'm going first. So I was like, that's how I'm picturing it.
I love that you and Nina are going to be Obama and Michelle on the beach like, what's up?
Yeah, that's the plan.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm curious, and I'm curious what you'd want people to know or what you're comfortable sharing, but about the first time that you and Nina met. I'm curious what your first impression of her was, and if you know what her first impression of you was.
Oh man, I mean the story gets a little blurred from who's telling the story.
as most best stories do.
Yeah, of course. But no, we were at an event, this seminar down in Florida, and it was like this multiple day event, and you got to kind of pour through your life and different things, and you know, I just wanted perspective, and you have to share your thoughts with the group, and I was really excited that she was a part of my group, similar age, and so I'm like kind of spilling my guts about my life story, and then her turn, and I couldn't help but go like, wow, I kind of like not being opportunistic here, but I feel like I check a lot of these boxes that you're talking about. And
yes,
and then you know we just became friends. Yeah, no, totally. And you know we became friends, and it just slowly developed into something. And I was pretty embarrassed because I didn't know about, you know, her acting career until later, which was kind of embarrassing. We went to dinner and it was slammed with people, and she's like, well, let me see if I can get a table. And she goes over and she's talking to the hostess, and the person like covered their face in excitement with the menus they were holding. And I'm thinking, oh, she must have thrown like, oh, we got the old Olympic hero over here. And it wasn't about me at all. It was all about her. And then they came up and asked her for a picture later. I was like, wait, what's happening here? What's going on?
Right, who are you here for?
But yeah, and then since then, it's just been this sort of amazing, getting to know her life and her hopes and goals. And now I'm in this kind of amazing position where she helped me so much. I can't wait to return the favor and, support her in her career. And But yeah, we did meet in the very, very funny way at the seminar.
I love it. What I have talked to Jennifer Lopez about this. Beyonce has made a song about this. That moment when a couple starts to come together, and in particular, the fella, his look starts to, change a little bit. Dare I even say upgrade a little bit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We call it with Jennifer Lopez, we call it the J Glow. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, very nice.
We have noticed, Shaun, that since you and Nina have gotten more and more serious, that you have started stepping out in like some serious looks, even at the Super Bowl coordinating.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of like, we're down to run the matching look. We're down to do a lot of those things, and I love her style though. She's got that class about her, so I think it makes me want to elevate and get on her level, But then she's still like you forget, but she's like kind of the scrappy girl from Bulgaria. That's like you know what I mean? And we're like, I forget where we were, but she was like haggling with someone over a price of a trinket, We're on there, and she's like, no, I'm not falling for it. You know what I mean? I was
That's
like,
what
all
you
right.
need.
Like I like that, And so we're in that sort of pretty funny thing where we can do nice and extravagant things, but in our heart of hearts, we're still like, yeah, we'll take the bus to this.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Cool.
I want
like,
what is the value? What is the value we can find here?
Yeah, we'll go sit and eat pizza after the Met Ball in our gown and our,
the way to be. The way, because no one eats at the Met Gala anyway. 100%.
No.
I totally get it. Now
sure.
I gotta ask you. I gotta ask you because there are a couple ladies in particular here at our office who are like, what's the deal? Like, what's gonna go? What's happening? What's the plan? Have you had the conversations yet about rings? Have you had the conversations about what they could look like? And the reason I ask is because, fellas, we should not go it alone. Should there ever become a point where that's what it's looking like? Julianne Hough, Nina's best friend. There's got to be a point of reference for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do. There's been some funny. I wouldn't say funny. What am I talking about? Now I'm getting all nervous. No, we did one of those. Remember I talked about earlier? I was like, oh, we'll deal with that after the Olympics. Now it's after the Olympics. Is all I'll say. But no, I mean she's incredible, and I think what's so great is now we really have that time to like spend together and really kind of talk about future and what's next, and I should be so lucky. So
I love it, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I love the fact that you said, even in your thinking about that, your response, I'm getting a little nervous. I love that. There's something about it that just seems so honest, that seems so like, regardless of this interaction, it's hard to even vibe with you, to be honest with you, like with all this technology that we got going
we're
on.
So far,
yeah, but I can really appreciate like the honesty and like, wow, like just thinking about that is like there's an excitement that lives there.
Yeah.
I wanna switch gears real quick, because I'm almost out of time here, but I'm curious.
Yeah,
you have to tell me now. That the Flying Tomato is retired. Who plays you in the movie, right?
Oh, wow.
Who puts on that red wig early on and off the mountain? Who can you see playing you in the movie about your life?
Oh man, I don't know. Are we
Let's
going?
think about it.
So do we go natural redhead or do we go?
No, we got movie magic. We can dye anybody's hair.
Yeah, because who would it be? Jessica Chastain, probably. just flip it on. It's like, wait a minute. I thought.
Hold on a second.
But she would be like, you know, I want
Listen, Glenn Close did it. Glenn Close did it.
Yeah.
Jessica Chastain is talented enough. I can see it.
Yeah, be like, wait, is this Shaun's story? Loosely based on, you know, I don't know. I'm putting it out there.
It's an artistic interpretation.
Yeah. Like, let's give it a twist.
I love. Okay, I'm gonna end on this because I'm getting the signal. But
of course.
you mentioned Tom Brady. You mentioned Michael Phelps earlier. You and Tom Brady announcing your retirement in the same month. Have you had a conversation with him yet? I know you talked about like what comes next, but it can't be a coincidence that both of you were like, yeah. I think this is the last one.
We're like, you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No, I mean it is pretty wild coincidence, but it's just it's cool. I mean, there's been some direct messages, you know, and he commented on some of my posts and things, which is so awesome. And same with Phelps and some other incredibly talented athletes. But just to hear from them, you know, and them being the masters of their field and to have their sort of like, you know, great career, because there's so much in me still that is that competitor where I'm like, do I keep going? Do I, you know, and you have to really kind of think back on your career, but having those sort of hit-ups from, you know, these incredible athletes, you really kind of like, it warms my heart and it makes me feel like I truly have accomplished so much to get that recognition from those people. And, but yeah, I definitely will probably call some of these folks up and be like, what do I do now? You know, and
I know,
and
right?
What's next? And that's what's so cool is there's that respect and that kind of camaraderie within the sports that you just can't really find anywhere else. So I'm excited about that, and I'm wishing Tom the best. You know, because I know exactly what it's like. You're in the same sitch. It's a wild ride.
It's a wild ride. The fact that you and Tom Brady are DMing is probably the best thing I'll hear all day. I love it. I love it. Brother, you are the bomb. I thank you so much for the way that you show up every time we've had one of these interactions. I so appreciate your energy. Congratulations on everything. This next chapter is going to be one. I think you're going to have more fun now than you've ever had. You're going to find more ways to dig in and to give back and connect, man. I can't wait to see what you do.
Thank you. I'm very excited about it. Thank you.